Hey, how's it going? Oh, I forgot the mic today, so the sound's going to be a little bit less stellar. Oh, I haven't done a video in a while. I thought I'd just do a little thing. I was coming up here with I'm just behind the house, up the mountain, you know. Which I sort of marked that trail a couple of years ago. No, anyway, whatever. A few years ago. And I was up there with my friend Gung and her friend, and the trail had disappeared, as it does in a rainforest, I guess. So I thought, oh, I'm going to take an hour and just start clearing it out. And clearing it out through the most dense section, which is pretty low down, right? It's at some point, like from here, if you can see behind, from here it starts to open up a bit. It's still there's still undergrowth happening, so the trail here goes right here, and then it starts to head up the hill away, and it kind of winds back and forth up the mountain, up to the ridge here, I should say. Yeah. Anyways, from here I'm not going to go on because I'm tired, but I'll do that another day. But I could probably just walk it without clearing it, but I'll clear it anyway. But this first part, now what I'll do is when on my way back down, I'll show you what I cut out, and I did a bit of digging. I have my little, not sure what you call it in Thai. Not even mattock, I think is what we used to call it for tree planting. Back in Canada. Yeah. So anyway, I'll continue on because it's going to be great hiking soon. It's still the rainy season. It's September, but and September can get a lot of rain. But lately, like almost all of August, it was kind of sun and clearish during the day, and then rain in the late afternoon, evening. It's perfect. Anyway, so yeah, so this is enough for today, and I'll film it going back down. I had a motorbike accident a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't hurt myself really badly, but it took a couple of weeks to. You know, I kind of I hit a dog, and the dog's fine. Well, bastard. Anyway, I hit the dog and my bike flipped on the left, so I landed BAM on my left side. And a lot of bruising and scrapes and cuts and things, but no broken bones, which is great. But it has been a couple of weeks to get going. So I just did an hour today, because this left side's still sore, muscular sore and stuff. And I think I must have crushed my rib cage a little bit and maybe damaged some cartilage, like little tears or something. That's what I would say, something akin to that. Or maybe just bruising, but enough that it's like sore to roll on stuff in bed. Although much better now. Anyway, so an hour is enough for today because I'm working through an injury, but also doing this work, of course, helps, because you get injured and then you kind of favoring it, and your body gets out of alignment, and so all these sort of cascading stuff happens, right? Like pains and things that don't feel quite right. So going hiking and then doing this and using my arms to cut and dig and stuff is good, but an hour is enough, right? Don't want to overdo it. So yeah. Oh, the other thing, I was going to talk about this on my last water walk. There's something. One of the things that I have always loved to do is to understand and learn about pre-modern times, right? Especially pre-agricultural times. It's, I just drawn to it really deeply for all sorts of reasons. I'm just going to zip this up. Yeah. Anyway, backfire. So things like with an injury, like I walk to get my water. I don't have to. I could buy bottled water, which is kind of purified, but I walk to a spring. That's kind of my thing, as many would know if you've watched these videos. And it's kind of a meditation on water and essentials of living and all that. But of course, when I get injured, I couldn't go to get water. I use water from the water that comes into the house, and I just use my camping filter to drink it, and that's fine. But I couldn't get water, and of course I always think about, okay, in other times an injury could really cause some real problems, right? Like real difficulties. Oh, I got bugs on me like crazy here. So that was interesting to ponder, and I could feel my spirits kind of crushed down as the time went on, and the injury was trying to heal, but still painful. And it wasn't the pain so much as it's hard to just put into words, you know. It's painful enough, but nothing, you know, 40 years of kendo, I've had bruises all over me. Anyway, yeah, so, but just the contemplation of that sort of thing, you know, and of course then also that leads to thoughts of, you know, life is precious and we never know what's happening every day, and of course that then leads to every day is precious. So every day try to be grateful and understand how lucky I am to be living here, right? I have a lot of people to thank, you know. I've like Gung and Piad, who own the house I live in, first and foremost, you know. But also my mom, like, it was to help her get settled in Thailand that drew me here, right? And I was doing my long ride during that time and all that. And I thought, oh, I'm going to find some place, because I'd been kind of unsettled for, I don't know, 16 years or something, 15, 16 years by then, and like no real home. And I thought, oh, maybe it's time to be a little bit more sedentary. I mean, not really, but you know, more so. Like actually have a home base. And I thought, oh, I'll find some small town in Saskatchewan or something. And it ended up being a small town in northern Thailand. So anyway, I love it. It's great. It's perfect. Anyway, so yeah, all those stuff gets spinning around for me, and a lot of the stuff that I like to do is trying to understand how a person could live without all the infrastructure, right? And of course, in this day and age, those thoughts are very easy to access because of all the, you know, the extinction rates and climate, and I think weird social things, you know? I don't know. I get reamed over the coals all the time for, you know, appreciating, say, Jordan Peterson's talks and stuff. And, you know, I appreciate his thoughts, you know. Anyway, it makes me think about stuff from my own perspectives, right? But there's also other people, these people that in that sphere that I'm really appreciating, like Heather Hine especially. She's I mean, I feel like she's like my sister, right? Because she's like loves being out in the bush alone. The idea of discomfort is important, you know, all these things. Anyway, but her husband, Brett Weinstein, they're both evolutionary biologists and stuff, you know, so I love that. Anyway, I'm going to flip this around and show you the trail that I cut. You'll see how short it is. Like, it took me an hour, but I'd be surprised if it's 100 meters. But this part of the thing, I'll show you as I go. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so flipping it around, I'm just decided to show you the tools of the day for me. Is this I love this type of machete for lighter cutting. It's very thin, very sharp. I have this traditional bamboo kind of scabbard, I guess you could call it. And then of course my digger thing. Mostly I use the machete tool. Okay, hang on. I want to have my gloves because, well, you know, because I'm digging through the bush and can't see a lot in snakes and all that. Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm all set. I've got my machete tucked into my belt. This is where I'll go next time. I know it doesn't look like there's a trail, but I can see the trail that I made. You can sort of see it, like right in the center there. There's a bit of a depression. Anyway, when you get used to walking the trails here, it's not that difficult to see, even really faint ones. But anyway, you'll see. What I've made now is really wide, and of course it'll grow over, but it'll last for a while. Probably till next year. Anyway, so okay, so you can see what I've cut out. And also just walking on it will pack this down. Like it'll be clearer and stuff. The vegetation that I cut will dry and all that. Well, yeah, you can see. Like, you just can't walk through that stuff, eh? Up higher, like on the ridges here, oh, it's so beautiful. It's quite open. I think that the forest is just older, you know. And you know, as happens with forests, is the it becomes more open. Anyway, so you can see the trail I cut here. basically looks like a highway here. Anyway, we'll go down. Yeah, in New Brunswick. Geez, all that forest was like second regrowth, I'd say. Heavily logged, extremely dense, right? But, you know, I was talking to my friend Beth, who was talking to, when they first came here, talking to real old, like 80-year-old people from way back when they came, and saying how you could just walk from their place in New Brunswick to the ocean. It was like, I don't know, 60, 80 kilometers. It was wide open. Like the forest was huge, white pines and all that. A lot of those white pines got cut for masts, shipping masts. A lot of shipping going on in New Brunswick, shipbuilding in New Brunswick, and so all those big trees got cut. Towering straight trees. And there's all these twisted white pines left, because that's what continued to grow. It's quite amazing. Anyway, ooh, look at that. There's a nice flower for you. See if I can get a good exposure. There you go. Beautiful, eh? Yeah. Anyway, continuing on. This is good for today. I'll go and have some lunch. And at one point I thought, oh, maybe I'll go this way and see what's there. So I went about 20 feet there and I went, no. So I went up this way, which is my old trail. And now, this is, now we're lower. So now we're out of the super dense bush. It's like a band, eh? Like there's that band of dense stuff up there. It's not very wide. It might be, I don't know, 50 meters or something. But boy, oh boy. It's really dense. I could cut through that in an hour, and then I could cut the rest of the trail in probably half an hour, which is like 5 times as long, at least. Yeah, anyway. And there, you're gonna see the house come up. There it is. Let's see, we've got tarps on the roof. Roof needs redoing, but of course I can't afford that. And anyway, bigger story. I might have to cut out in a minute because this trail's, oh, look at this. Cool. The tarps are working though. You know, it's keeping the water out. It's a good way to do it, and it's inexpensive and helps to keep the house preserved, you know. Anyway, I don't know if you get a sense of the steepness here. Quite steep. Anyway, I'm a little bit, you know, holding the phone is a little bit tricky, but let's see if I can do it to the bottom, to the entrance, we'll see. Oh, and there's, I don't know if you can see in there. That's the second floor. My bedroom, that's like a hallway right there, and then my bedroom's through in there, and then there's a spare bedroom for guests and things. It's nice. Yeah. There's another trail I made back here, and that goes up that way. Up past, there's a big bamboo grove there. And that cuts around to the, I take that trail sometimes when I'm getting water. It's also really steep, but it's a nice little shortcut and gets me into the forest quicker. And that's road time. Okay, now we're almost out of the woods. There's my neighbors, we've got some neighbors up there. You can see through the trees. Look at these big rocks. My friend Terry did a thing up there, one of her nesting things. Yeah. Anyway, it's all good. I'm gonna, at some point in the next month or so, I'm gonna go around, because I've got a lot of stuff lying around. I kind of want to tidy up. Like I've got some hose pipes and some old bamboo and some tarps and old brooms and stuff. I just want to tidy it up, make it look a bit nicer. And there's all kinds of sticks everywhere, because trees and stuff fall, eh? And I'll have to clear the branches. But anyway, you see there's tarps up here. There's my deck. Down here. Oh, that's a cistern where the toilet drains to, but just the toilet. See that trough there? The runoff from the kitchen and the shower and stuff comes through there, and it just drains into the ground. And then it filters through the ground and gets recycled back into the environment. And there's a stream, a better view for my neighbors, who I never see, they're never really there. And here's that big rock. Here's this incredible old tree. Look at the signs. Yeah. Anyway. Lucky me, eh? Okay. And look at this wire. I think it's still live. But it's not the main wire. You know? Oh, there's ants on it. I think this is the wire that comes off the micro hydro thing. I think it's still sort of running. But anyway, there's a live wire at waist level. Isn't that nice? Okay, so here's the house. And now it's time for lunch. Yeah, so I hope that was halfway enjoyable and hope everyone's having a great day. Ciao.